Musk is calling the shots.
President Musk.
Presidente va a ser Elon Musk.
President Elon Musk.
Watching President Musk.
President Elon Musk.
President Musk.
President Musk.
President Musk.
Elon Musk is the unelected president of America.
Welcome to the Elon Musk presidency, one where Donald Trump has been relegated to be the vice president. Clearly what Elon Musk wants, Elon Musk is going to get.
So when was the inauguration, and when did Elon Musk get elected?
That is certainly the question on everyone's mind. It has been a surreal and some would say unhinged week for many Americans, as many watch the oligarchic strong-arming of our government in real time. The message is clear. You thought you voted for Trump, but what you actually voted for was South African billionaire Elon Musk, with many saying that Musk is acting like the de facto president of the United States and no one's checking him.
If Elon Musk is kind of cosplaying co-president, I don't know why Trump doesn't just hand him the Oval Office, or Speaker Johnson should maybe just hand Elon Musk the gavel if they just want that billionaire to run the country.
He was not elected into any public office, nor has the new administration even taken stage yet. Yet still, President Elon Musk and Vice President-elect Donald Trump have been working hand-in-hand to engineer a narrowly avoided government shutdown. This has left people scratching their heads, wondering what the heck is going on and who's in charge here. When it comes to politics, oligarchs are typically the hidden puppeteers in the background, exerting their political influence through quiet donations. But Elon Musk is not even hiding it anymore, brazenly calling shots to politicians on public forums like Twitter and sticking to Donald Trump's side like a very clingy ex. So what happens when the world's greediest, richest person, unbound by the limitations of the average person, with unlimited access to resources and an inability to distinguish between elected officials and what his wealth can command, gains control of the most powerful government on earth? Let's delve into this question in today's video. If you haven't been paying attention, now's the time, because this is America, series finale. From the beginning of the Trump campaign's win, it was reported that Musk was clashing with Trump's team at Mar-a-Lago. He's inserted himself from the beginning with no care about beating the allegations that he bought the American presidency. Many saying he's just trying to keep an eye on his investment. He did spend more than $250 million on Donald Trump and Republican campaigns through PACs and other efforts, focusing on key swing states and voter outreach. His significant influence on political narratives via his platform Twitter and his alignment with MAGA policies further heighten these claims. But apparently Republicans are starting to tell him to calm down, because he's scaring the and by hoes, I mean their base of Republican voters, which comprises mostly of Caucasian and uneducated populations. It's gotten so bad, a lot of people are going online to express their dismay.
Trump supporters are already starting to regret their vote after seeing the chaos unfold in Congress. This is what a Trump voter just posted on their X account. "I'm really starting to regret my vote." Someone responds, "Don't pretend like you didn't know it was going to go like this. Everyone knew." And then the Trump voter responds by saying, quote, "Wasn't expecting him to be anti-cancer funding."
Does Musk have too much influence? No, I don't think so. I think this is exactly what the American people voted for when they voted.
Donald Trump, who people voted for because they thought he was a strongman, he was an alpha. You know what? He's really a beta. Elon Musk, world's richest man, says we need to do something. We better do it. And then he said, okay, we're going to have a government shutdown. Did you vote for Elon Musk to be effectively the president of the United States? Is that what you voted for?
Critics argue his actions reflect an outsized influence on American democracy, raising serious concerns about oligarchic power. So why is he doing this? Well, Musk reportedly joked that if Donald Trump didn't win the 2024 presidency, he might face legal consequences, claiming that a Trump defeat could result in increased scrutiny or prosecution for himself and others aligned with Trump's policies.
If he loses, man, what?
If he loses,
It does seem that way. You can't just be like, yo,
yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be tonight? Will I see my children? I don't know.
Musk had serious concerns about potential regulatory or legal actions against him under a different administration, particularly due to his controversial business practices and public statements. From proposing actual bills, being tapped as the Speaker of the House, to threatening politicians who don't vote the way he wants, Musk keeps threatening politicians with his money, saying he will use it to unseat incumbent Democratic lawmakers in future elections. Musk is clearly pulling the strings, and he's not even hiding it, leaving many people wondering who the heck is really in charge. Imani, also known as Crutches and Spice on TikTok, made an interesting point.
How long do you think it's going to take for Donald Trump and Elon Musk to fall out? Like, for real?
There's one giant assumption that people make when they ask this question, and that's that Donald Trump wants to be president. He does not. He has no desire to actually do any work or lead anything. This was the arrangement. Is it?
This week, Musk went all out against a bipartisan spending bill meant to keep the government running. Instead of just speaking out, he turned it into a meme fest. On Twitter, he posted over 100 times in one day, mixing bad opinions with misinformation. While we're on the topic of combating misinformation, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Ground News. With my recent loss of faith in mainstream media, I've been looking for more diverse, unbiased news sources. And one name kept popping up. Ground News is an app and website that understands how important it is to question the dominant narratives mainstream media pushes so we can come to our own independent conclusions. They gather related news from thousands of sources across the political spectrum and add context, such as each source's political lean and ownership, to show how these biases can distort the framing of each story. Take the recent federal appeals court ruling that upheld the law requiring TikTok's sale or ban in the U.S. This story has been covered by many sources. It's fascinating to get a bird's eye view on how different sides spin it, along with a percentage of stories that are coming from the left and the right. On the left, TechDirt calls the ruling alarming, saying it actually enhances free speech. Meanwhile, on the Russian-owned RIA Novosti, the headline reads, TikTok will seek a review of the decision to transfer business to the U.S., framing it as a corporate fight. Another thing I really like about Ground News is their blind spot feed, which highlights stories one side might be ignoring. It's important now more than ever to see the full picture. So go to ground.news/SHAR or scan my QR code to save 50% off the same Vantage plan I use for unlimited access to all their features. I think Ground News is doing important work, and I hope you check them out. Musk even made fun of the bipartisan effort, calling it Kill Bill, acting more like Quentin Tarantino than an apartheid South African Nepo baby billionaire interfering in the government once again. And it almost worked. Millions of federal employees narrowly avoided going without pay, and U.S. holiday travel almost coming to a grinding halt. The funding bill Musk and Johnson proposed that failed in the House removed a wide range of previously bipartisan-supported programs to appease conservative factions. Democrats and Republicans worked together in previous months to compromise on the bill and ensure millions of federal employees were in a good place before they went off to celebrate the holidays. That is until Musk took one look at the bill and decided last minute that he didn't like it. Speaker Johnson and Musk then revised the bill, cutting key provisions that would have expanded protections for millions of Americans, including funding for farm aid programs, which are vital for supporting agricultural producers affected by natural disasters and market disruptions, and childhood cancer research funding.
We're only here because you guys can't agree amongst yourselves.
Yes, I think this bill is better than it was yesterday on certain respects. But to take this bill yesterday and congratulate yourself because it's shorter in pages, but increases the debt by $5 trillion is asinine. And that's precisely what Republicans are doing. I'm absolutely sickened by a party that campaigns on fiscal responsibility and has the temerity to go forward to the American people and say, you think this is fiscally responsible. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Don't ever tell me that Republicans or Trump or any Republican gives a rat's ass about children or the American people. They just cut a deal to cut funding to children's research for cancer. That's disgusting. They belong in a cold, dark place for that. Of all the things in this country that you want to cut, you've chosen childhood cancer research. It's absolutely despicable. It's completely on brand. And I don't ever want to hear from a MAGA or Republican or anybody that these people care. Because unless you've watched a child suffer from cancer, you have no idea how horrible it is and how every little bit of research matters in these situations. I think that Republicans are disgusting people. And this is just more proof of it.
Other cuts targeted programs related to climate initiatives, such as clean energy projects and environmental protections, and social safety nets, including housing assistance and nutrition aid for vulnerable populations. These exclusions drew widespread criticism from both Democrats and moderate Republicans, contributing to the bill's defeat and escalating the risk of a government shutdown. Both Americans and lawmakers are very confused, expressing their dismay with Musk's influence online.
What we're talking about here is not paying our military members during the holidays, not paying our TSA workers during the holidays, not paying the people that are working on all of our holiday travel that are out there working for us every single day. So this is an incredibly serious moment. It's one where Speaker Johnson has lost complete control, and clearly where Elon Musk is pulling the strings of what Republicans should be doing.
You thought you voted for Trump. You didn't actually. You voted for billionaires to run the show. Because who's taking orders from whom? These billionaires, they don't care about us. They don't care about Americans. They don't. Elon Musk wants a big, massive tax break in the next administration. That's what this is about, folks. It's about a big freaking tax break for billionaires. That's what it's about. Don't be confused about what's going on.
Elania, President Musk, take your ass back to Africa. Just go back to where you came from. Go back to Africa, Elon. Okay.
I'm just sitting back watching all of this shit play out, watching President Musk take over slowly, not so slowly. And I just keep thinking to myself, like, holy shit, how did we get here? Then I remind myself, I do know how we got here, because some of you sold us all out for some gas and some cheese. And turns out the rates for that is only going up. So now the country is being run by a billionaire who don't even go here, who is part of a cabinet to deport many people, and he doesn't even go here. And I just keep thinking, so many of you voted for this to happen.
And it doesn't stop there. This isn't the first time Musk has interfered in politics, and it clearly won't be the last. This week, he is now wading into German politics after throwing the American government into a complete loop when he endorsed a far-right neo-Nazi party running for the election in Germany. Today, he called for the AfD, the alternative for German party, the country's savior. And this comes after the German government collapsed earlier this month after a no-confidence vote. Musk also said he's considering meddling in politics in the United Kingdom. According to the Times of London, Musk is preparing for a donation for up to $100 million, which would be the largest political donation in the United Kingdom's history. So here we are watching this South African billionaire tech oligarch run the government and threaten to meddle in governments abroad. So what's the goal? Arrow Musk, Elon Musk's dad, recently commented that he's proud to see his son start to fulfill his destiny. So what exactly might that destiny be? Arrow Musk acquired significant wealth from an emerald mine in Zambia during the 1980s. He said they had so much money, we couldn't even close our safe. It's certainly no surprise to learn that Elon Musk is a product of apartheid-era South Africa, and when you look at his family tree, there are deep ties to Nazis dating all the way back to his grandparents. So what is his destiny? In a podcast, Arrow Musk gave some insight into their family and spoke about his ex-wife, May Musk.
Her parents, by the way, were very fanatical in favor of apartheid. This is quite interesting. Her parents came to South Africa from Canada because they sympathized with the Afrikaner government. They used to support Hitler and all that sort of stuff. They were in the German party in Canada, and they sympathized with the Germans. So when the Afrikaners government came into power here in 1948, then May's father, he said he wants to be with the Afrikaners because he agrees with apartheid.
Fascinating. So knowing Musk's family history and that he is backing far-right political parties in both Germany and the UK who are known Nazi sympathizers, he's also been quoted several times saying that the white race risks extinction if they don't start having a lot more babies. It makes sense that this guy would be pushing for politicians who want to bring forward the Fourth Reich. His mother even went on television recently to encourage people to have babies, basically so her son could have more factory workers.
You know, you don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to go out for dinner. You can just spend time with the most wonderful gifts you can ever have as a children.
So between the political ideologies of the politicians he supports and trying to deregulate as much of the government policies that specifically affect him, it should be clear exactly what kind of legacy Elon Musk's father was talking about. Musk's net worth currently sits at almost $500 million. $500 million more, and he will be the world's first trillionaire. He doesn't care if child cancer research is cut. He doesn't care if farmers or cities get support after natural disasters. And he clearly doesn't give a about how his quest to be a trillionaire affects millions of lives. He's positioning himself as a spokesperson for the ruling class. His tweets hold more sway over lawmakers and the people that elected them. So whose voices really matter here? The billionaires or the people that built this country? Well, as for Trump, his role in the government and the partnership is clear. He's the front man, the face of the operation, working hand in hand with Musk. They work for the ruling class, steering the narrative and weaponizing their endless source of wealth, continue fueling the system that only serves the rich. It's a billionaire's wet dream. It's selling our nation for parts and barely leaving us scraps. Exploitation for us and power, call it consolidation at the very top. The real question isn't whether Trump or Musk is in charge. It's why we keep letting these billionaires play puppet master with our government as they consolidate power and silence the voices of everyday workers. Are Americans ready to stand up? Have they had enough yet? Time will tell. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified when I post new videos.
Take a deep breath and appreciate what's going on here. The wealthiest person in the world, who spent at least $277 million to elect Donald Trump in a Republican Congress, has now claimed complete ownership of that party. And what he is saying is, hey, Republicans, forget your constituents, forget your constitutional responsibilities. If you don't do what I, Elon Musk, want you to do, you're out of office. And I have the money to do just that. My friends, what we are looking at here has nothing to do with democracy. What we are looking at here is oligarchy. This is up and up. Government by the billionaire class for the billionaire class. And by the way, Musk is not only trying to intimidate Republicans, he is trying to inject himself into the Democratic Party as well. He is threatening to target Democrats who are standing up to him and his agenda. Further, what all of this hoopla is really about, above and beyond everything I'm talking about, is that when Trump and Musk come into power in late January, do you know what their first order of business will be? You think it'll be to fix health care? You think it'll be deal with climate change? Deal with homelessness? Well, if you thought that, you're dead wrong. Their first order of business will be to provide massive tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country and the largest corporations. So think about it. At a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when Musk himself is worth almost $500 billion, what these guys want to do is give more tax breaks to billionaires and the heads of large corporations. So where do we go from here? Let us understand the gravity of what we are dealing with. This is not politics as usual. This is not just Democrats versus Republicans, conservatives versus liberals or progressives. It's much deeper than that. What we are dealing with right now is that the billionaire class, which owns so much of our economy, which owns so much of our media, they are now moving aggressively to own our political system as well. So we got a lot of work in front of us. We've got to educate, we've got to organize, and we have got to stop them. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday season.